Greetings, geeks. Welcome to episode 861 of Geeks in Space. I'm Rob Commander Takamulda, and joining me today, once again, as always, in Pretend Low Earth Orbit, we have Chris DeBona.
Hey.
And Rob Rosemoon.
Hello.
Gentlemen, how are we on this lovely morning?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And about sums it up.
Here.
Functional. Human.
Yeah. Let's get started.
Oh, wow. We're in a rush here. All right.
So you're planting sequoias in Detroit? You personally?
I mean, not me personally. I hate nature. It's my enemy.
I've heard that about you.
Yeah. I don't like to go outside.
Well, you're definitely going to want to fight the sequoia trees before they get too big then.
Yeah.
So it's more like a David and Goliath. But not,
Right. I prefer to be Goliath than David.
Godzilla.
Yeah. Because they said what in the article says something like in 10 years they'll be large enough in diameter that you won't be able to get your arms around them or something. It was crazy fast.
Yeah.
I didn't know they grew that fast.
There's actually some place where they've already, I don't know if the story mentioned it, but there's some place where they're growing them already here. They have some that are like 50 years old or something. They're pretty tall.
Mm-hmm.
It's neat. Is our climate close enough to California that you can make that work? Because I always think of them as like the Endor forest stuff.
Well, they did move the climate zones north.
That's true. Thanks to decades of government
pooping
weather
on
machines.
the earth. Yeah,
government weather machines.
I don't think we're ideal. The winters still are a little too harsh for them, but not so much that it kills them off. So
Fair enough. It's a neat project though. It's weird. It's weird seeing what happens in Detroit. It's like a citywide science fair project. Like sometimes we just sell houses for $1, and other times we just level entire city blocks and plant sequoias. All right, cool. When a city fails, you just try shit. Kind of neat. Let's see. We didn't do the wasp story last time. Is this Rob or Chris?
Not me.
It's just another one of those stories where, we like, so there's this fungus that's destroying
People poop all over wasps all the time. No, go ahead.
These finches, I think, are endangered finches eat. So they're like, hey, why don't we bring in some parasitic wasps? When has that ever gone bad that we bring in some species to destroy another species?
Yep.
Let's do it. Here we go. I can't wait to see what horrible disease these cause.
They should make that Simpsons episode where they bring in the snakes or whatever.
Yeah.
That should be just like mandatory viewing, like as part of orientation for all city planners.
And then we get gorillas to eat the snakes.
Yep.
And then we need mutant whales to eat the gorillas. Yeah. And then we need a mutant zebra mussel to eat the whales.
You went to mutant really fast.
Well, I've been thinking about radioactivity a lot.
All right. That's fair.
So,
that's fair.
As you do.
Somebody should have like a wiki page or something, a log of just like all of the times that a species was introduced to an area to solve a specific problem and then created
there's got to be a Wikipedia page.
There's got to be like a blog that tracks that.
I can just think of 2 giant ones just in Australia alone. New Zealand has problems with feral cats that were brought in.
Sure.
Almost all those Pacific islands are infested by rats.
But a lot of those were by accident.
Sure.
Well,
cane toads weren't by accident. They were specifically brought in. And
womp womp.
So technically speaking, an invasive species on Wikipedia is an introduced species. So, notably invasive plant species include the kudzu, giant hogweed, Japanese knotweed, and yellow star thistle. Notable invasive animals include the European rabbit, domestic cats, and carp.
I don't know anything about plants, but I do know that a lot of the plants that are just like randomly growing in my neighborhood are not local and they are invasive. And I've heard the plant loving members of my friends and family in the area talk extensively on the subject, and it all kind of just like flows over me. But I do know like we have some plant that's invasive, and when you kill it, it grows twice as many stems or whatever, but they can be like 10 feet away. It's crazy. Nature's awesome.
Well, tomatoes were introduced into Europe from the New World. Tobacco also. I mean, it's.
Well, hell, salmon here in the Great Lakes, they're not natural.
Yeah, there's no world
that.
that's natural.
The the webpage that I want to read though is the ones that are more like about man's hubris. I want to read about when we introduced something
mutant
on.
gorillas.
No, I want to read about when we introduced something to solve a problem and it all went wrong.
Yeah.
That's what I think is the good stuff. All right. Who put the raccoons thing in there? That's awesome.
That was mine. So this is actually in my county. So we're all making raccoon jokes. So it turns out she was feeding the raccoons, and then she was simply shocked when they came and they basically pinned her in her house. They're like scratching at the doors,
She called the police.
She called the police because she was, she couldn't leave her house, and it's like, what? I'm okay with that. It's like I'd rather people call the cops in Kitsap County for this than to shoot a black person.
Sure, real problems.
It's real problems for sure, but okay.
And to be honest, like a few raccoons, maybe that's one thing, but 100 raccoons.
Let's bring up this picture. It's such a good picture.
That's too many raccoons.
That's too many raccoons. I think we can all agree that's too many raccoons.
That's the wrong number. Now, it's not as good as hundreds of beavers, but it's pretty good.
It's pretty good. Yeah. No, there's a post on X, formerly known as Twitter.
Jitter.
Oh my God. It's such a bad site now.
Yeah, I don't know what the perfect number of raccoons is, but it's less than this.
Yeah.
It's
Sure.
100.
Maybe 3. Mommy, daddy, baby. That's it.
She was feeding raccoons. Don't feed the raccoons.
Oh my God.
I mean,
yeah.
it's like the one rule in Kitsap County is don't feed the bears, don't feed the raccoons, don't feed the coyotes. And if there's a deer in your yard, just let it go.
Yeah, that checks out.
Let it go. Oh, and don't hunt for shellfish.
I was wondering what the cops were actually going to do. So he just stands there and
he looks sternly at the raccoons, because raccoons respect authority,
Oh yeah. That's what they're known for. We got a lot of those in our area.
Oops. Not going to post on X. God, no.
I post on X like once every few months. I still load it because there's like 10 people that aren't on Mastodon that I still want to see what they have to say. But like I've whittled my followers list down and I only look at the following, like the list of who I'm following and not the algorithm.
Yeah, I was looking at tweet delete yesterday to delete my Twitter history. I'm just like, I'll keep my account, but so I just listened to the book Character Limit by Kate Condra and Ryan Mack.
Okay.
It's basically about a little bit about the rise of Twitter, but mostly about Elon's assumption of Twitter.
Yeah.
And just all the stuff. And I'm like going, it's bad. It's so good. It's such a good book. So yeah, I'll link to it or something. It's really good, man. Boy, it's good.
I need actually a good book to read in a few
It's
days.
a great one. Great audiobook during the long drive when I was going back and forth to work. And,
Right on.
Boy, it was good.
So we've got the story of the disappearance of the internet domain. This is actually a pretty funny one. The whatever country is .io.
Indian Oceans, a British territory.
So they're shutting down and losing their domain name. And
so the British government's like, okay, we don't know Mauritius. Mauritius, you can have your thing back. And it's complicated because that's where Diego Garcia, the military base is, so there's like this multi-partite discussion, about, because it's not like the military is going to shut down Diego Garcia.
Right.
They
like their bases.
Yeah, they're into it. So I'm sure they transferred the lease of $14 a month to the ocean, nation. So yeah. But yeah, so the ICANN's like, okay, we're not selling the .io domains anymore, and we're going to start phasing them out. And it's like, whoa.
And that's wild.
It's wild.
The best suggestion that I heard was actually to legally transfer ownership of the domain to the moon of Jupiter.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Or to ISO, themselves. Like they could have ISO be the
a legacy
owner of
container.
No, international organization.
Oh, okay. Sure.
And they can be the ones who dole it out to civil society members and
and startups.
Yeah,
Y
up the price to
Combinator,
$1,000 a month or whatever.
hundreds of Y Combinator startups
Yeah, right.
that need IO names.
Well, I mean, I think it'd be really unusual to actually shut off a TLD. I mean, turning it into a GTLD like AI or blog or whatever would probably make sense.
Yeah, it's weird to think how that's actually like a problem. Like when it was .com and .net and .org like back in the day, and there were other countries, but like it wasn't like a real problem that was we thought about in the 90s. Like now decades on, all of those little things have ripple effects. I love that.
Yeah.
But also I feel really bad for any startup that like now has a problem, or like there's some relatively substantial projects that use IO domains. Yeah. It's going to cause problems.
Yeah, I think there's a WordPress.io being fought over right now.
I didn't put.
Have you been following? You must have been following.
I didn't put any of them on the list, but while we're here, we could talk about it. The one that killed me. Did you see the login form for WordPress that has a checkbox now that says "I am not affiliated with the WP engine in any way"?
That is insidious.
And then there was another version of that one that I saw, like apparently
because that's where the Blumper domain is,
Oh, really?
So Blumpify.
Oh man, we need that. So apparently, the form that had the checkbox "I'm not affiliated with WP Engine" is real. But then I saw a parody version of that, which added "I am not a Neil Dash," and then another one "I am not and have never been a member of the Communist Party."
Oh wow, yeah. Once somebody starts saying loyalty oaths and sign offs and hardcore mode like Elon did at X, it's like, dude, no,
things are getting problemy. The WordPress thing just keeps going though.
Yeah, it just keeps going.
That's a weird one, man.
Well, it's weird. I've known Monoeg for 22 years. I'm like, dude, what's up?
Why you got to be this way?
The thing is, I've seen lots of project founders get really upset when people out execute them, or take and never give back. I mean, the same thing happened. You might remember like Brie Pedersen MakerBot.
Sure.
He was working his tail off and getting undercut by all the Chinese makers. Excuse me. And he's finally like, well, I'm just not going to open source stuff anymore. And everyone's like, oh, you've betrayed us. And he's like, who's us?
Yeah.
It's like,
yeah, it's hard. It's hard.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I guess there's like a ticking clock. You give somebody a certain amount of power, and it only goes one of two ways, right? You don't tread water with that power. You either get weird with it, or you fail.
I wrote a whole article about this on my Substack. I'm just saying.
Should we put that on the Taco Zone for all the?
You should put it on the Taco Zone. Here, let me
link your blog entry. You can blog like it's 2001.
Here's my blog. It's a blog, y'all.
Yeah, listen to my podcast and read my blog.
I mean, we've been podcasting since 1998. I mean, come on.
It's been a while. But listeners should remember to visit our YouTube page, smash that like button, and post a comment.
Here we go.
To drive up the algorithm.
Yeah, and check out my Substack, y'all.
Yep, subscribe to my Substack and our Patreon.
No, we don't have a Patreon.
And if you're interested in RobCoin, let me know.
Rob FTs.
Yeah.
Okay, you can run RobCoin. I'll run Rob FTs.
I'm just gonna stick with my old man Substack here.
Oh, thanks, Grandpa.
Thanks, Grandpa.
All right. So, gentlemen, we are of an age where sometimes you have to go to a doctor, and the doctor has to put something in your most sensitive of spaces.
So I got to stop you for a second.
All right.
Having the robotic finger next to the Pink Floyd ham slicer.
I did that on purpose.
I'm beginning to get a little uncomfortable here.
I did that on purpose.
The fact that this thing apparently mounts on a wall orbit table is the thing that bothers me the most about it.
Chris, get that
Also,
for me
is
for
that
full
is
screen.
that just a spring in the middle?
Yeah, it's just some spring steel. What's the big deal?
There, I screenshotted the finger. That
Yeah.
could be our thumbnail today.
All right, there we go.
I'm probably gonna get a non-safe for work tag.
Yeah, I gotta tell you, I think we could make something better.
I don't know. So apparently, this device goes in your special area, and it's more accurate than a doctor's finger somehow, which is great because Dr. Kevin always tells me that it's supposed to take a half hour. Sorry, that's my attempt at a Deadpool joke. So anyway, that's a whole thing. I'm actually really glad that they're doing that. They've also talked about like things like this for like space travel, like long term travel.
I don't think it has the thrust.
Yeah.
You know,
I don't think it can bend fast enough. Plus, you would have to figure out how you'd get air while it's propelling you through space.
Yep. Oh my god. I don't think that's what they meant.
It's the worst thruster, really.
Just
I mean, it technically works. Just
and
not
also
really
remember,
great.
it's bragging about its sensitivity. It's not its Newton pounds of thrust. You know?
Yeah, if your anal testing mechanism is bragging about its thrust, you want to go to a different doctor.
Yeah.
I mean, the review copy we have, it takes me almost a whole day just to get over to Rob's pod for mine. So
yeah, it turns out your proctologist's last name is Prentice, you know, like the famous dentist, you know.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah. So the next one that we had on the list was the Pink Floyd ham slicer. I didn't get to read this one yet, so you'll have to tell me what the dilly.
So it is made out of the first pressing of Animals, I believe.
Yeah, which is a great album. Yeah.
And it's just an art piece. You're not really gonna slice ham with it. But I mean, if you really like Pink Floyd, what better thing than a ham slicer made out of an album?
It's a neat visual.
To add to your connection. Yeah.
Good on that.
You
artist.
know, I think this might be one of those things like the beer can art. You're like, I guess it's art. You're telling me it's art. I believe
at
you,
least this.
But
someone could look at it and say that's not trash, unlike the beer can art.
Well, yeah, and what I worry about is, I mean, if these are truly first pressings of Animals, I don't want it to be messed up. It should be preserved. It should be in a museum.
Okay.
You know?
The record in that picture is pink.
Yes.
Was the first pressing of Animals pink? Because that doesn't seem likely to me.
Well, I mean, I just don't know. I mean, maybe the pressing vinyl, which you use as a stamp or whatever, is pink. I don't know. Maybe it's a special extra hard vinyl that stands up well to molding. I don't freaking know, dude.
All right, I'm looking it up on.
I think it's just ham colored. You know, ham. Send a spiral ham. Send a salami to your boy in the army. Come on.
Send a salami to your boy in the army.
Oh yeah, that was an old thing. Yeah, for I think it was Barney Greengrass, the Sturgeon King. You know, send a salami to your boy in the army.
I'm gonna skip since we're on art. I'll come back to Angela, but the other art story that we had was Pud's small batch headphones.
Gatz's Deli. Yeah.
Did you look at the headphones that he's got on there?
Oh boy, that's good.
Because
they're really funny. This is the guy who did Fuck Company, back in the day, and he decided he was gonna start doing artisanal small batch headphones. I mean, he's only made one for a friend, you know, but it's like his project. So I have to be honest with you, the discussion on Reddit is so funny. He puts pictures of themselves wearing them.
Yeah. Old Thumpy looks fantastic. That's so hilarious.
Yeah.
It's so good. And like some of them are
they're fun. Scroll through the list. They're like
fun, man. Here. There's Old Thumpy. So the first one was Bob, which is just a chunky
speakers in a cage.
Yeah, and then Old Thumpy. And then front-facing speakers to make the sound like it's in front of you. And again, we have to show the picture here on the Reddit.
Yeah, very practical. I love that he's got the cables mounted at the very front.
Oh yeah, no. These are incredibly practical headphones.
Yeah.
Let's see now. The Scrub Daddy is obviously just
Scrub Daddy's
kind of
funny. They're all
blasphemy
kind of a joke.
Is,
that's pretty sweet.
So, it's funny because before I went to the Reddit discussion, I was like, well, it's kind of like trying to do with headphones what Bowers and Wilkins did with their Nautilus speakers, right? And he mentions that specifically in the, oh yeah, I wanted to do what they did. And it's like, okay. So it's stuffed with a non-resonant wool, and it gets rid of all your backwave propagation issues. So anyway, standing waves never happen. So I bet you they could even sound good, but probably don't.
Probably not.
Yeah. There's Bub Rub, which is basically the speakers point out and then bounce towards your ear. And then Grand Crew.
You're off the page now.
Oh, I'm sorry. So here's Bub Rub, with the speakers facing out and bouncing into your ear.
Yeah, as you do.
Then Ground Crew
headphones.
Moon is hilarious.
Moon looks like a pair of Odyssey LCXs or something.
Yeah, with like a mod, here, there.
Oh yeah, that's great.
It's hilarious.
That's great. Oh, it's the tube. That's great. I mean, this is just funny. I enjoy this tremendously. This is clever. That's why.
No, I laughed out loud like 4 times.
Well, here's the funny thing is that you shared this in the channel, and I was like, okay, the guy's just making headphones now. Because like, there's a Slashdot reader who makes headphones that I know of because I own a pair of his headphones. And I was just like, oh, so I guess this is something that people just do as a hobby. And then like I didn't look at the article until I posted it into the Taco Zone. I was just like, oh no, this is really funny. Can see the music. That's probably got really good staging.
Yeah, for sure. It's just they're very funny.
So yes,
and headphones where it's 2 phones.
Podcast listeners, go to the Taco Zone, click on
just go
this
to pud.com.
Or go to pud.com. Yeah, we don't care about Taco. We don't care. We're not plugging really. Look at these. They're really clever. They're very fun. And they actually are made. It's not like somebody just typed things into an AI and like had images generated. That's, art. Remember art?
Yeah. Remember art, y'all?
I actually had a little moment this morning. I was scrolling through some feed, and I saw a picture of like a cute cat. And it was the first time that the first comment that I saw was, this is an AI generated picture. And it was the first time that I had seen a picture and legitimately thought it was real, and was told it was AI. Like, I'm sure it's happened but like, it's never been like a thing that I've thought about before. But this is the first one I was like, well, I thought that was a real cat, but it is not.
Yeah.
It's happening now, guys. Nothing's real anymore.
Nothing's real.
Except for us. We're always real.
Yeah. And physicists using rubidium. So this is the Jenny, the one who did 4 hours on
Angela
Star Trek.
Collier,
She's actually a physicist, and she had a great post about rubidium's use in physics. And it's just really good.
I haven't listened to this one yet. The one that I just listened, she's kind of like when I need a half hour of something interesting to listen to. She did one, Spooky Science Data Stories.
Yeah.
And it's all about, the story came out a few years ago. It was the guy who faked the spider data. Do you remember this one? He faked data on like spider reactions. And then they went back and discovered that he had like a decade-long history of faking data in papers. Yeah. And then they discovered how many like undergrads had like their research destroyed because he controlled the data. He had the lab. Wow. It's a really, I'm actually meant to post it for this week. So I'm glad that you linked the Rubidium story. But you should, I'll dig up the scary, it's on YouTube, but the scary science data stories from her channel. Really excellent. Very entertaining. And I look forward to learning more about rubidium. The other one that she did that I thought was really cool, and I don't remember what I think it's the most important chemical in chemistry or something. It's glass. And it's an entire video about how physicists use glass and about glass blowers and the intersection relevant to other things, the intersection between art and science, because these glass blowers have to use all of these artistic skills in order to make weird one-off glass components that they need to do testing in physics.
No, there's how it's made for scientific glass that is just incredible. It's for this like distillate fractionator in glass. It's like, whoa, dude, it's such cool work, you know?
Huh.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll find it. It's so cool. It's honestly one of the coolest how it's made. It's made scientific glass. And remember, like some chemicals you can't put in normal glass. You have to put them in special glass, you know?
Yeah. Let's see, guys.
Yeah, here. It's so incredible. Totally recommend.
That was the list.
That was it.
That's what we had on the zone. Anybody have any send a salami to your boy in the army? Any media worth recommending?
I went on a tear of watching remakes, including Salem's Lot.
Oh, wow.
And there was some other horror thing I just watched, and they're all awful. The remake to Salem's Lot is terrible.
Well, they remake. It was Salem's Lot. They remade Carrie a while back.
Yeah, they did. That. It wasn't good.
That one wasn't terrible,
but it wasn't good either.
It wasn't as good as the original.
It wasn't good, but it wasn't terrible. You know.
No.
Last night I watched Nightmare on Elm Street 3: The Dream Warriors.
Wow.
Because I'm in.
That's the most fun.
Yes.
That's the most fun of the Freddy Krueger movies.
For sure. It's like visually inventive.
It's better than the first one?
No. It's not better.
It's
not
better.
Crazy.
It's the one that they knew the franchise would make money, so they had money for special effects.
Yeah, they
did really neat special effects.
They Disneyfied the formula a little bit. Like it's really like clear what's the problem with it, and I'd kind of forgotten about it. Patricia Arquette is in it, and she is screaming the whole movie, and it's really frustrating. Like that is too much screaming. I also watched one called Sing Sing, which is it's a fiction, but it's about a bunch of prisoners living in Sing Sing, and they like are part of like the prison theater group, which is like a therapy thing where they put on a play. And it's actually like it's not a bad movie. The gimmick to it that's kind of fun is that most of the supporting cast are actually graduates or they're former prisoners who were actually a part of this program. And they're playing essentially themselves. Like the credits, half of the credits are himself. The leads are actors you've seen in other things before, and they're really good.
In other prisoner movies,
yeah. But it's. I had been kind of sitting on this one for a few weeks because I had heard it was pretty good, but I wasn't sure if it was going to be like the kind of movie where the warden is mean. Because that's how prison movies go.
Well, you're such a gentle soul, Rob Maldo. You know,
it's true. Well, okay, a prison movie can be like warden is mean to prisoners, or prisoners need to escape. You know, there's not a lot of prison movies about like finding your humanity in prison
or rehabilitation.
Yeah. And so this actually kind of has a nice sort of heartwarming kind of vibe to it.
I remember what it was I watched. I watched the Hellboy remake.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That couldn't have
did
been
you
good.
watch that, Rob?
That was years ago. Like 2 years ago, 3 years ago?
Sure.
He looks...
Yeah, let's go with that.
He looks so good, but that movie was
I'm pretty sure this was the newest one, 2024.
There's a 2024 Hellboy?
Pretty sure. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Whoa.
Because this is the one with Ron Perlman?
No.
There's a newer one than that?
The one.
Oh, there's two more after Ron Perlman.
I'm thinking of the one with the sheriff from Stranger Things.
Yeah. No, there's a new one after that.
Whoa!
And it is terrible.
Awesome.
It is so bad. It is so bad.
It's the other thing. Yeah.
So don't watch? Or is there any redeeming value?
Well, you could watch it to see, like, to me, I was wondering why you would sell the IP for Hellboy and then do that with it.
do that to it.
Especially after, even if you didn't like the last movie, like there was money behind those, right? The Ron Perlman ones are good.
The first Ron Perlman one's great.
Yeah, it's really good. And Selma Blair, she's so cool.
And this one, there's no part of the team at all but him, because presumably
they're all dead
for special effects.
Ooh.
It's really bad. It is really bad.
Well, not a movie, but my current rewatching sitcom. I'm rewatching Sports Night.
Oh man!
And let me
I haven't
tell
thought
you,
about that in years.
I love that show. That show's great.
I believe that about you.
It makes me happy. It's Sorkin, but it's 20 minutes long. Lots of little monologues and quips. It's great. The other thing that I watched this week worth noting is Beetlejuice Beetlejuice.
Oh, the new one.
Yep.
I like Rob's response. Was it any good?
It is enjoyable.
Is it good adjacent?
I'm not going to tell you that it's like super good or anything.
Okay.
The fundamental problem with it is there's just too many damn characters. And like, so you've got Willem Dafoe playing a weird like actor ghost. You've got Monica Bellucci playing the corpse bride. You've got Justin Theroux playing like the money grubbing, greedy love interest for Winona Ryder. Danny DeVito has a small part, but he's not like a distracting. He's like almost an extra. But there's and then you have Beetlejuice. You have so many bad guys or like so many suspect characters that like, and then you have Catherine O'Hara, who's great. And then you have Winona Ryder and Jenna Ortega. So you've got like a trio of leading ladies.
Sounds like a lot, man.
It is. You've got a trio of leading ladies.
It's like they wanted to do a TV series and they failed,
There's just like one thing needed to go. There's a lot of fun visuals. They do some stop motion-y stuff. It's the revelation of the corpse bride sequence is visually really cool. There's a really fun dance number at the end. The sort
but
of,
there was no Alec Baldwin or Gina Davis.
No Alec Baldwin, no Gina Davis, and none of the guy. I won't tell you, but the guy that got in trouble because he was a pest. He was like the dad.
Oh yeah. Christopher Lloyd's brother.
Is that who that is?
No, maybe not.
All right,
I think that's some. I think of the Frighteners.
I don't remember his name, and I don't remember what he did. I just know he's like mega canceled. Like for all the legit reasons. The way they handle his character is really quite funny. But they still show his picture and stuff, which I'd like, come on, man, don't do that. Because they work around needing to cast the actor really in a really funny way. Two really funny ways, actually. I would say it's worth watching if you enjoy Beetlejuice. Michael Keaton is still great. He does the things. And they end it with like
he Beetlejuices it.
He Beetlejuices really well. There's a couple of jokes that they kind of reuse. But I'm not going to tell you this is not a 4-star masterpiece. It's a 3-star watchable thing.
Is it like a Saturday Blumper special? Kind of
yeah.
Thing?
This one, though, Beetlejuice is a little bit older, so sometimes you have to say his name more than 3 times for him to come.
What?
You gotta say Beetlejuice 4 or 5 times.
Yeah, sometimes.
I can't hear ya.
He's getting older.
Yeah. What?
You get a gold sticker for that one. Good job. Well done.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well done.
I picture him as like the old guys in the barber shop at Coming to America, which there's also a sequel to, right?
Yeah, I saw that.
Did you watch that one?
I did.
Me too.
Wow.
It's not very good.
I never watched that one.
I've seen many
you'll be
legacy
fine.
reboots. Yeah, you're not missing that. That one's on the worser
I like
end.
the original one. It was good.
Yeah, it's fun. There's like a spectrum of the reboot kind of movies, like the soulless crash grab. I would actually make an argument that Beetlejuice is less a soulless cash grab and more like a bunch of people who just want to make some weird shit.
I'll tell you what has intrigued me this week is I kind of want to go and hate watch Joker.
Oh, me too.
Oh, Folie à deux?
Yeah, it's
sounds
getting
terrible.
It's getting no love.
No. If you want to go see it, Rob, let me know. I'll totally go with you if you want to come out out this way.
Yeah, we'll see. I haven't decided yet, but
I've been
But
meaning
yeah.
to, but my week has been really stupid busy. No, that looks terrible. And I actually want to see Megalopolis in the theater too, but
Yeah, because you want that audience participation stuff, right?
no, that's
Yeah.
I think they only did that in like limited theaters.
Yeah.
I want to see that, but no, I don't care about that.
Okay.
But I do want to see it like I want to see both of these things on giant screens because that's like as the director intended. That makes me happy.
Cinema.
Cinema. All right. Is there anything else? Either you start Agatha All Along yet?
No.
No,
You guys
I
should
started
probably
watching Vox this week.
Not. Oh,
and
that's
it.
cool.
Fox? The news?
Fox.
No, Vox Machina.
Oh, okay.
There was something else that came out this week as well that I'm excited to see as well. But there's actually a fair bit of TV shows right now. Agatha All Along. Neither of you are going to enjoy it. Neither of you are going to enjoy it. I'm having fun with it, but what's kind of fun about it is that it's intentionally playing with the campy, cheesy stuff in a way that I enjoy. And they're doing one of the things that I liked about WandaVision the most. I loved how WandaVision played with
Enslaved that town.
Yeah, I love that. How they played with genre each week.
Yeah, that was clever.
And this is doing that as well. Not as successfully, but it's still fun to watch the characters get like transplanted into different genres each week.
Okay.
But neither of you are going to enjoy it.
How do you know?
I don't. But
let us shut ourselves down, man.
All right.
Yeah.
Oppressor.
What I will tell you is that there are 5 episodes out now, and I think end to end there's still only 2 hours because they're like 32-minute long episodes. They're short.
Beautiful. Sounds perfect.
Yeah.
Great.
I like that. No, I mean, I like all those characters. I really like Aubrey Plaza. I really like.
Yeah, she's great.
I really liked WandaVision, and they're carrying through a couple things that this week they had one of the big reveals, so it was fun. I think it's very watchable, but it is very much like a B- C+ kind of popcorn fluff thing. But you know me, I got a lot of time for that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Anything else we got on the list before we want to go about our busy days?
No, we should go about our busy days.
All righty then. Goodbye, Rob Roseboom.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, Chris DeBona.
See you.
That was episode 861 of Geeks in Space. I was Rob Commander Malda, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.